is taking home an annual salary of just $1. Well, it's perhaps a sign of the times, these tough financial times, that not only are CEOs willing to work for so little, other employees, you and me, are volunteering our services, it seems, for nothing. So is this a case of workers' commitment to their companies, or is it a fear of job losses, losing your job? Let's put that to organisational psychologist Larry Myers, who joins me live. Now, let me ask you, would you work for nothing?
Yes, I think people very often work for a whole range of reasons, and sometimes money comes at the bottom of that. So it could be the enjoyment of the job, which would be the positive reason, and I think it would be fair to say there is a negative reason about where else would you go in this climate.
Come on, enjoyment of the job. Be serious. I mean, I know a lot of us do enjoy our jobs. Most people, and we've got a poll at the end of this, and perhaps our viewers would be surprised to see what the poll says, but most people I know, would expect to be paid something to work.
Yeah, I think the airline industry actually is slightly different. I think a large number of people actually work there because of the passion for the industry and for the company that they're in. And in this current climate, there's probably nowhere else to go. So there's a bit of the carrot and the stick, I suppose.
Would it be fair to say that there are, for many people, jobs that simply mean identity? It's a link that many find almost difficult to break, healthy or not healthy.
Absolutely. I think that is fair and that is true. And I think something about if British Airways does this well, I think people will feel that they're in the recession together and working together to contribute. And I think that's much better than being unemployed and feeling quite alone.
Let me just tell you that hundreds of BA staff have actually already expressed an interest in working for free. High levels of commitment to the firm then, or high levels of insecurity. Let's mull that as we listen to what Willie Walsh also had to say today. Let's just have a listen to this.
That's not to say that we won't look at voluntary redundancy, but it's much better for us to look at things like unpaid leave, part-time, because it's a better cash position for the business.
I think you've been quite... Well, you just heard what Willie Walsh said there. Effectively, if you don't work for free, you're going to lose your job anyway. That's what it seemed to suggest from what he was saying, talking about compulsory redundancies possibly down the road. Listen, you sound very positive about all of this. Isn't there a risk, surely, sir, that there are companies out there who say, wow, this is an opportunity to downsize, retrench, as well, even if they don't need to, given the economic climate? They can almost use it as a veil.
Yeah, I think that would be fair. I think some companies might use this as an opportunity, or kind of copycat redundancy, or copycat work-for-free plans. But I think the airline industry is slightly different in that there's quite a long period of time required to get people trained up to the level of BA staff. So I think it's actually quite an astute move to ask people just to step down for a little while, or, take a payment holiday, so that they can be back a lot quicker.
As an organisational psychologist, then, what would your advice be to somebody? What should we think about if, indeed, our companies came to us and said, look, turn up for a month and you won't get paid, or sort of don't turn up? What would your advice be?
I think the first and most important thing is it has to be fair and honest. And I think the only way that can work is if the whole company's in it together. I think if the employees discover that some of the leadership is actually taking salaries or abusing the system, I think it can be quite divisive. But I think if the companies are bought into, if the employees are bought into the overall vision of the future about where the organisation is going to go and why they're doing it, and everyone's in it together, I think it can actually be quite a cohesive force over the longer term.
All right, Larry, we're going to leave it there. Larry Myers on for us tonight. So if it came down to it and your company was struggling, would you work for free, and for just how long? That has been what we've been asking you on CNN.com today. More than 200,000 of you have weighed in on this, and here is what you said. 11% of you say that you'd give up work for a day, and over a third of you said you wouldn't mind missing out on pay for a week. 15% of you would take unpaid leave for a month or more, but 39% of you would hold fast, completely refusing to work for nothing. I've got to say, I think those numbers are quite small. I thought the not at all would be big, but there you go, 200,000 of you. It's not a scientific poll, it's a quick poll on CNN.com. Do keep an eye out for them, they're fantastic on the site. Jobs in jeopardy, would you work for free? So